Okay, this is part 3 of the Aqua Illumination Profilux marriage. Alright, so what we see here, cloud probability we just described. And then you have your lunar phase. In fact, the picture actually shows what the current lunar phase is outside. And today it's just over a half a moon. And if you look at the actual controller, it'll say what the moon percentage is in percent. And I think it's about 63% today. And you can also select what lights do you want to operate in. So other systems where you have multiple lights, you can have something that's dedicated, illumination channel number 7, that all you have are lunar lights. But the Aqua Illumination LED system, one of the major advantages is you have one light doing all the work. So unlike metal halide systems where you have actinics for supplementation, then you have an LED array and all these different pieces, and now you need more sockets and you generate more power, more heat. The Aqua Illumination does it all. You buy it once and it meets all of your needs. Okay, so the illumination number 2, that's the blue LED, that's all I'm using for my lunar cycle. Alright, down here, and the time that I have it set at is I have the lunar cycle starting at 5 p.m. and it ends at 7 a.m. Okay, the next feature is rainy days. That's another beautiful feature you won't find with any other technology. Rainy days determine how much darkening you want during a rainy day. So as you would expect, rainy days should be much darker than cloudy days. So I have my max darkening for cloudy days set at 40%, and during a rainy day I have it set at 70%. And then you select which lights do you want. I choose only my whites. Again, I'm a blue freak, so I like that blue color. And I will play today and I'll show you what it looks like for both when you dim, because in nature, when you have rainy days, you get more gray color water and gray colored clouds. And when this white dims, you get more of a blue hue. So I'll show you what both look like, because nature looks more like if I was to dim both channels, the white and the blue. But because I'm a blue freak, I only choose to dim the white channels. Alright, and then you can also specify what days a week do you want your clouds to come. This is one thing I wish the Profilux had as an option, is just random. I don't care what day it is. I don't need to select. Just choose a day for me. Make it really random. That would be a cool feature. So I selected Tuesday and Saturday. And when we play with this, I'll select Thursday, which is today, and we'll make a change. Alright, the next is thunderstorms. In fact, why don't we do that while we're looking at it now? Well, I'm confused. That happens often. Okay, so let's move on. We're going to look at the thunderstorm feature. So in this panel here, what we see first off is the activation mode. Which day of the week? Again, I kind of wish this would be random, where it just does thunderstorms. Why do I have to select a day? I don't really care when it happens. It would be neater if it was just random. But I selected Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And then you can also select how many storms per day you want. I've only selected 1. So therefore, these other days, storm 2, 3, and 4 over here, these are grayed out. And I selected storm to be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and lasting for 20 minutes. And then you can also do a manual start. So when I'm showing off the tank and I have guests in or whatever, or coworkers want to play, I can just start a storm and we can see lightning effects. And that's the effect you get, is lightning. And that's very, very cool feature. And then what type of processing? I use max intensity, which is 10. So you get maximum amount of lightning effects. You get the strongest intensity of the flashes and also random bursts of flash. And the burst will vary in time. Some flashes will be a second long, others will be a quarter of a second, millisecond, and so forth. And you'll get to see that. And then what's the darkening? Well, if you're having a storm, you should get some clouds, right? And we said before we had 40% for cloud cover. We set 70% for rainy days, and during thunderstorms we get 90% darkening. And this looks really cool because the tank will almost go black, and then you see these vibrant flashes. And again, remember, when I darken, it's really, actually I think it's both the white and the blue get dimmed during this phase. Okay, light scenarios. This is a very cool panel. In fact, I usually leave this up on my screen and I'll watch it. And what you can see up on the top is a light mixer. This is kind of like an audio mixer. And since I'm not using any lights in illumination channels 3 to 8, they're inactive. But 1 and 2, you can actually see them changing right now. And what's going on in the tank right now is the clouds are going away and I'm reaching full effect for this time of day around 12:30. I have 100% blue and then I had around 75% white. Now a cloud's going back over the tank and you can see randomly clouds coming over and it's coming slow and it's still dimming and my whites are at 53% and declining. Oh, and all of a sudden it's holding now at 51 and blue is 68%. And it's going to stay for up to 45 seconds. That's how long the cloud could possibly stay for. And then slowly the cloud is going to go away and then you're going to see for this time of day you're going to go back towards that number. But not always will it go back to 100. Sometimes it'll only go up to 85% and then another cloud came and then it will go back down. Very, very cool feature. Again, cloud probability is my absolute favorite feature because it makes the tank look different constantly through the day. You're not getting just this gradual increase of light up till noon. You're getting the light coming up to noon, but hey, a cloud passes over and it looks different. It's very, very cool. Okay, so while we're looking, since you saw the screenshot, I'm going to have you take a look at what the tank looks like. So right now what we see is the white illumination is 75% and blue is 100%. And now a cloud is coming over and you can see the tank darkening just a bit. 60% white, 80% blue. And it's holding. Now its cloud is going away, whites are increasing, 68 and rising, 73 and rising, and maxed out 75% blue at 100. Another cloud is passing over. And this is a fast cloud, 54 and declining, 50, 45. Holding at 45 white, 61 blue. And now rising, cloud is going away. So these are the changes that are really just dynamic and make the tank different. And again, I only have it set at 40%. If I set it up much higher, you would get a much darker effect, so it can be really dramatic. The other beautiful thing about cloud probability is it will never go above the max for that time of day. So you still get clouds at 9 o'clock in the morning, but when you're getting those clouds, you're only going to have a white intensity max at 25. So you're going to dim from 25% white down to about 18 or 19%. You see a dramatic difference, but when the cloud goes away, you never go above that specific intensity for that time of day. Awesome, awesome feature. Okay, so we're going to go back to the screenshot. The other thing that you can do here is what's called crossfade. So you can select a couple different channels and you can get your LED lights to just go from one extreme to the other. So what I'm going to do here is activate this manual illumination and I'm going to crossfade, and over a period of 10 seconds, which is what I have here, you're going to see whites are going to maximum 100% and blues are going to go all the way down to 0%. This isn't something that you want to use for anything other than just kind of showing off the tank or looking at different effects. So here's what the tank looks like at 100% white. It's a pretty yellow hue. This is probably equivalent to about a 6700 Kelvin temperature. All right. So now we'll keep this focus on the tank. I'm going to press the other button. Now we're going to go 100% blue and we're going to fade off the white down to 0. And this tank will go absolutely blue. It is phenomenal. And the glow of the colors in the corals are absolutely intense. The Hydnophora is a super, super brilliant green. And the other corals down here, the nuclear green palithoas, protopalithoas, are just absolutely glowing. It's incredible. And I'll occasionally do this when the office staff comes by just to see how different the corals will look under different lighting situations. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to take this activation manual mode off, and instantly you go back to the current time of day. That's the other beauty of LED, is when you make changes, they're rapid. There's no waiting, no dimming, no, it just goes. Very cool. All right, So now we're going to turn back to the screenshot here, and we're done for this part.